out there on a very nasty Saturday morning out there. It's only going to get worse. I think all of you out there are already aware of that. So please make preparations for some very, very bad weather coming up a little bit later on. Here in this area as a bad line of storms moves across the state. Glad that you joined us again. Our program brought to you by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air every single Saturday, and we love to get it kicked off there. You can call us on this show, 256-234-6221, to be part of the program. And again, we're glad that all of you out there join us wherever it is that you might be watching or listening throughout the state of Alabama. A ton to talk about this morning. The national championship game is coming up on Monday. We'll definitely talk about that matchup. I told Andy yesterday, Randy, that was the one I wanted to see when I saw that they named those 4 teams in the playoffs. I really wanted to see LSU and Clemson, and I think those are the 2 best teams in the country, and it played out that way this year.
I think so, but when you watch that Ohio State and Clemson game, you left out of there going, Justin Fields could win in a big environment, and it was close. You know, it could go both ways, and Clemson's quarterback made the plays when he needed to, and surprisingly enough, he made them with his legs. Now I think the big question mark going into Monday, can those 2 great receivers for Clemson, Justin Ross being one from Phoenix City here in the state of Alabama, who really put the team on his back last year in that championship game as far as big plays go.
No, he did.
Had about 190 yards and receptions in that game last year. Can they do that to LSU? Because LSU's got great secondary players, but they've given up big plays, lots of big yardage this year. And so I think that's key to the football game because LSU's going to get theirs, Brett.
They are. This will probably be the best defense outside of Auburn's that they'll play. LSU, I'm talking about. This Clemson defense is pretty stout. Of course, if you look at the bowl record, the ACC, they don't play in a very good conference. I didn't have to tell everybody that. The ACC just not strong. They just don't have a lot of good teams. So the competition level has not been very good all year for Clemson. But you know what? It didn't prove that way in the playoff game. They played a very game Ohio State team and was able to figure out a way. You know, Trevor Lawrence took shot after shot after shot after shot. I mean, Ohio State was coming after him as hard as I've seen any team come after a quarterback. Man, he got hit hard a couple times that I didn't think he was going to be able to get up and come back. He popped back up. That kid, he's a big kid. He's strong. He can take those shots. Joe Burrow, he likes to run too. You know, both of these quarterbacks like to run the football when they have to. So I think it's an intriguing matchup. 2 of the best that we've seen in college football running their teams. Clemson's won 29 games in a row. 29 games in a row. I don't think anybody 10 years ago would have ever thought Clemson would win 29 games in a row in anything. So LSU, Ed Orgeron, saw the interview with him last night. Guy just smiles all the time.
He does.
He just very.
Wouldn't you be?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think that even if he wasn't in this position, I think he seems to come across as that type of lovable guy. That even when he gets into you, Brett, you know there's some love back there for you.
He's doing it because he cares for you.
And you can just sense that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's a put-on with Ed Orgeron. And, look, I knocked him. Most in the media knocked him. I never would have believed that during his LSU tenure, say Auburn won, because Alabama's really had the upper hand in that series for a decade plus. So I take them to the side.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember when Ed Orgeron was hired, me and you going, I just can't imagine Gus Malzahn not owning this series. And now we look, and we're 0-3 against them. He's led comebacks as a head coach against Auburn when we're way ahead. He's been able to find a win when they've scored 40-plus points every game and they don't get but 23 at home. Tip your hat to the man, but I like him. The more I watch him, the more I like him.
Well, you said something I was going to mention, and, all of us with the pie on our face, everybody in the media for making fun of Ed Orgeron and thinking that was going to be a crash and burn. And we were looking at it from prior history and what he's been able to do at other places and how it didn't work out. But you know what? He wasn't a fit at USC. He wasn't a fit at Ole Miss. I'm not sure I know who's a fit at Ole Miss. I mean, Lane Kiffin, we got a lot to talk about there too. I got something I want to ask you to see if you caught on to yesterday and see if you caught it like I did. And it's pretty interesting. But Ed Orgeron is home. He's home. He's where he wants to be. He's in his dream job. Sometimes people somehow happen into the job of a lifetime, and Ed Orgeron coaches and he acts like he got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it means something to him. And you can tell, it gravitates to the players, and he can recruit. He's proven that. He's been able to recruit. He made a decision last year to change his philosophy. He said, we're not going to beat Alabama doing the things that we're continuing to do. He said, we can go 10-2, 11-1, and still be sitting here watching Alabama play or an Auburn team that was getting there more than they were to the SEC championship game over the last decade. We can sit here and watch those two teams battle out in the Iron Bowl, so who goes represent the West every year, because we're sitting down here in Louisiana and can't get over the hump. That being said, he did. Joe Burrow, the single most improved, I think, player I've ever seen from his numbers last year to this year.
And you can name that as coaching. You can say that Brady coming over and what he's brought to the team from an offensive coordinator, he's not necessarily the coordinator, but he's the assistant. And if you watch that box and them calling plays in that semifinal game, he was up there right along with Ensminger making those calls there in that in that semifinal matchup. So look, it can happen. Those of us that want to see a change and want to see some kind of resurrection with an offensive unit, it can happen, and it can happen with great talent.
Good.
But Burrow and the way that he has taken a hold of this offense, the way that he handles himself, the leadership abilities that he shows are second to none that I think I have seen in the SEC, and that's including Cam Newton and including Tim Tebow, Tom Brady. But Tim Tebow, including those two who I think were the top that I've seen.
Yeah. He's made a mark up there
that I've
now.
seen with Burrow this year is I don't think anything's close to it, because he just has everything is clicking. When you have 7 touchdown passes in a half in a semifinal matchup, yes, in Oklahoma, he did that the entire end of the season.
Yeah, that's he's proven it more than just in one game. Okay, now. Your guy is in the SEC.
He is.
Your guy made it to the SEC, and we got a lot more to talk about. But did you catch what Mike Leach didn't say yesterday in his press conference?
No. And I haven't had very much time to read in and see how all of that went
Okay, well,
down,
I'll fill you in, so it's not going to –
go ahead and give it
the most of it's the general stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the press conference. I'm glad to be here, blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff. Okay, he was asked a question about all the coaches in the SEC West. And he's, the guy said, what's it like to coach going to be coaching against Lane Kiffin, Nick Saban, Gus Malzahn, all those guys. He mentioned every coach in the conference except Gus Malzahn in the division.
Yeah.
And, he said, well, I know all those guys. I know Nick. And he went back high. He knew Lane. And I can't remember. He talked about Jimbo and somebody. Didn't say anything about. And, I picked up on it kind of out of the deal. Was that intentional? Was it unintentional by Mike Leach? Does he not think Malzahn's up to snuff in this division? That's one that he's not worried about? Did he just but what okay, I'll let you formulate your own opinion. Here's what it told me. That Malzahn, whether he intentionally left him out of his conversation or didn't, is not a dynamic guy. Don't stand out. All those other guys aren't over the top like Mike Leach, of course, but they all have their own thing. Gus Malzahn is just kind of robotic. And it's just kind of like, yeah, he's pretty good, but I don't really worry about him. He's over there to the side. I just think what Mike Leach didn't say yesterday stood out to me more than anything he did say.
Well, I saw some comments coming in with some coaches out there just knocking him for being who he is. But what in the world are you going to win? Does it mean whatever you say yesterday? Does that win? I'll get back to you, Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, that's fine.
But for those that are knocking the way that he presented himself up there, what does it matter?
Presented himself what?
Just some of the things that he said and how nonchalant and how unorthodox he is, and the SEC's going to eat someone like that up. I'm like, come on, dude. This guy's won wherever he's been. That's the only answer I can give. And he's been at 2 spots that others never win. Not that they don't. They never win. When's Texas Tech put a quality product out there on the field?
Prior to him coming there, they were 7-5, 6-5, 7-5, 6-5.
I mean, Tuberville had them about as mediocre as you could possibly get them. Nobody wins at Washington State.
Nobody does.
It doesn't happen.
Man,
so,
their previous 4 years before he got there, now he didn't do. He had some good years, but he had some stinkers too. But the ones before him were horrific. I mean, they were a joke. I mean, so yeah, he's proven he can coach wherever he goes.
So I think he'll be able to do that. Does his system work here in the SEC? I don't know. Who knows? I think it'll work for recruiting.
Yeah.
I can tell you, if I had a kid that was a 5-star receiver, and I wanted the ball
as much as
he's going to throw it and put it in his hand. If I had a quarterback that was a Joe Burrow type, that I wanted to get out there and show off. And, you know, there's one thing that Mike Leach said the first day that he's hired is what I said to you on the Auburn Blitz this week when we were talking a little bit about him. And that is the Joes and Boes down here are different. You can't turn down, if you're a great coach, a great college coach, an opportunity to come to the Southeast. I don't think they grow them like we do.
Not anywhere else. Well, go look at the football in the Big 12 and the Pac-12.
And when you watch Mississippi State, who recruits on about a 30 to 50 level, normally.
Yeah.
When you watch them, do you feel sorry for them?
No, I don't.
They got dudes everywhere.
They had Montez Sweat last year, and they had a bunch of them. We're up against our first break. I got a lot more on this. I think this is a good place to start. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider, Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted, Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga.
And I'm Coco. Do you owe more on your vehicle than it's worth? Are you stuck with high interest rates? We may be able to help.
If you've made your last 12 consecutive payments on time and would like to get a new vehicle for the same or close to the same payment and save thousands of dollars in interest, you may qualify.
So come by and see us and let us show you the Vaden way.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, located on Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn on South College. New Kias at 0% APR financing and no payments for 90 days. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn.com.
This is Coach Pat Dye. At Kia of Auburn, you are always number one.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown brought to you by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. Not a lot of sunshine today out there. Make sure you make preparations. By the way, we had Jason Caldwell on yesterday, and as he was on, he broke that news that the Auburn-Georgia game moved up to 11 o'clock this morning due to this weather moving through the state. For those of you that might have not seen that by now or heard that, if you're planning to go to the Auburn-Georgia game and you were thinking it's at 5 o'clock, it's not. It's at 11 o'clock this morning. That game will be on ESPN News, so it's been moved, scheduled to be on ESPN. Obviously, Alabama and Kentucky playing at 11 o'clock this morning.
Big game.
At 11, on ESPN. So Auburn and Georgia in a big game, too, with Anthony Edwards and Isaac Okoro. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Alabama facing off probably the hottest offensive team maybe in the country right now in Alabama, scoring over 90. I told y'all the other day on the text thread, I said, man, this team right here, you're going to have to figure out a way to slow them down because, they don't defend real well. I know they give up a lot of points, but they've scored over 90 the last two games. They should have beat Florida. They let that one slip away on the road. I know they kicked themselves later on for letting that one get away. They just blew Mississippi State's doors off. So, and if you get down to them, and I'm just telling everybody this right now, and I don't know how this game's going to go today for Auburn, but you know how I am as a fatalist as an Auburn fan. It's going to be tough for Auburn to go to Coleman Coliseum and win. You know the environment is going to be explosive. You know they're going to be playing to end this win streak for Auburn. It's a Final Four team from last year coming into their building. They're trying to establish validity with a new coach and players. Man, the cards are going to be stacked against Auburn, especially if they beat Georgia and head into that game Wednesday as a top 5 team.
Well, here's the big news that if I were an Alabama fan, and I've been watching a lot because I'm interested in what Nate Oates is bringing to that program because the last two coaches have played such a slow-down, half-court, disgusting brand of offense that if I were an Alabama fan, I'd just please get away from that. Yeah. I know we can go out there and get dudes that can score the basketball because, again, we're down here in the Southeast. There's great athletes everywhere. They want to get up and down, and they want to shoot the ball the way that Bruce Pearl's brought to Auburn. Well, lo and behold, John Petty all of a sudden has become an 18-point-per-game guy that can get into the lane as well and make some issues for any team.
Great compliment for Kyra Lewis, man. They got two good players, man.
Well, and Kyra Lewis is the one that I was going to go to next that concerns me as an Auburn fan going into next week. Our own ball defense, as far as keeping a point in front of us, has been a struggle. NC State exposed us, and I thought the same the other night against Vandy. Scottie Pippen Jr. broke us down, and once he had us broke down, he's able to pick and choose who he wanted to dish the basketball to because we're having to pull off. Do we have great defenders? Of course we do. But our two best defenders are really threes, and Samir Dowdy and Isaac Okoro.
Yeah.
Well, if you put those two against a point, it makes it really tough on those two to stay in front of a point. So,
well, it's matchup problems. Yeah, it's matchup problems. I don't know. Both teams have big games today. Alabama with Kentucky, and Kentucky went to Georgia and got a big win during the middle of the week. And then, of course, Auburn, squeaking that win out against Vanderbilt. So you'll see those two teams play at 11 o'clock this morning. And then Wednesday it'll be the first edition of the Iron Bowl of basketball. Of course, they play each other twice during the year, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough matchup for Auburn because of the situation and the hype going in. So let's go to the phone lines. I think we have a call. Caller, go ahead. You're on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Hey, guys, it's Luke. How's it going?
What's up, man? You awake?
Oh, yeah. I've been awake since 4 o'clock. Who are you talking to?
That was a little bit of sarcasm there. But, yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll keep you on the rest of this segment and then head into the next segment with you so we can get a full segment with you, Luke. But we'll just start there if you want to. We'll start with basketball with Alabama. I know you heard us talking a little bit about Alabama and what they're doing with their scoring. And to me, as an Auburn fan, I'm just being honest with you. I think the cards are stacked against Auburn next Wednesday up in Coleman Coliseum.
Yeah, let's do start with basketball, but I definitely have some thoughts on this Mike Leach thing I want to get to.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It's going to be that's an interesting topic. But as far as basketball goes, look, I think every Alabama fan's pretty excited right now in terms of the direction of the team. Even the last couple of coaches, while there was some hope, it felt like lip service. Maybe not so much with Anthony Grant, since he never spoke, but just by his former record and his resume with Avery Johnson, it was about the bluster of everything he was saying and hey, we're going to buckle up and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And then, every time they got on the court, it seemed like, hey, when do we start buckling up? Because this feels kind of like a kiddie ride, Now, Alabama is one of the fastest-paced teams in the country. And the interesting thing about that, I still feel like the team is kind of moving in slow motion. When I watched Auburn and Vanderbilt right after the Alabama game against Mississippi State, it seemed like Auburn in particular, but even Vanderbilt, was moving at a different pace. But Alabama's shooting more, and they're still getting to the rim, and they're not waiting on the shot clock, anything like that. It's just I don't think they have the guys to run that system just yet. But they're going to get there, and I feel a lot more confident in this coach than I did in Avery Johnson about doing that. And look, we can all, everybody loves to spin something positive for their team. But I'll say this: the Florida loss to me didn't seem like so much. Oh, this is the same old Alabama that comes out, gets a lead, and blows it. It seemed more like this is a team that's going to start to do this more often, and they're going to learn to hold on to these leads. They just don't know how to yet. And also, this Alabama team, just like the football team, unfortunately, has been ravaged with injuries. Even in the Florida game, it wasn't just Rojas is out and the other signee, Gary, is out from South Carolina. It's also, and that the transfer, Javon Quinley from Villanova, had to sit out inexplicably. It's also that Alex Reese had a stomach virus. I mean, Beetle Bolton's been dealing with like a really bad wrist problem all year. Herb Jones has been dealing with a shoulder problem. So everybody on the team has been hurt at one time or another. Even John Petty was dealing with an injury at one time. So, yeah, I think once this team gets healthy and we get over our turn over the barrel on the injury side, then I think this team's going to get a lot better. Now, in terms of next week against Auburn, look, I mean, Auburn's going to be favored in that game, and they should be. I can see why Auburn fans would think that because, look, no team in basketball goes undefeated except the 1976 Indiana squad. So, yeah, it makes sense that Auburn fans think, okay, our loss is coming sometime, and the most opportune time for that to happen, it may be in Tuscaloosa, but I'm still not ready to predict that yet.
Luke, we're up against that break, and if you'll just hold on right there, we'll keep this going on the other side. Stay tuned, more of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Growing your business isn't just one thing. It's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
Be the hostess with the mostest this holiday season at Chicken Salad Chick with our easy party catering. Need a quick appetizer? Stop by Chicken Salad Chick and grab a quick chick of any chicken salad flavor or the pimento cheese ball covered with crushed pecans and crispy bacon. Remember, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. For a limited time, our pumpkin cheesecake is back and it's delicious. Chicken Salad Chick can feed any holiday crowd with our custom-fit catering. 12 flavors of chicken salad, there's sure to be something for every taste bud.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown here. Got our friend Luke Robinson on the phone with us. Just talked a little bit about Alabama's. Before we get into this next topic, Alabama basketball today against Kentucky. Luke, a big game. 2 previous games for Alabama have scored over 90 points in those 2 games. So what is it going to take against Kentucky today?
Probably more like 190. But you know, I don't have any delusions of grandeur that Alabama's going to win this game, but I feel better since Kentucky came back and beat Georgia. If Kentucky had lost to Georgia Tuesday night, I would feel a lot worse about this game. Because they did win, I'm hoping we catch them, you know, one of those early morning Saturday hangover type games, and they sort of flounder around, and then somehow at the end we can pull out a win. But I'm going to give it like a 3% chance. There's not a big chance we win this game.
Well, I'm telling you, I just feel different. I just think that, you know, I've watched Kentucky several times. They're not as dynamic as they've been in the past. They're a beatable team, and I know it's tough anytime you go against them. But Alabama's scoring enough points, they can do that. Okay, let's shift gears. We talked about Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin as we opened the program, Luke. So obviously we want your thoughts on Mike Leach coming to the SEC and what he brings with all his piracy and studying of planets and mascots and jackalopes and marriage counseling and every other crazy thing he does.
Well, first of all, I am like Randy. I am very happy he's in the SEC. I think he makes Mississippi more interesting. I think that's the whole state of Mississippi more interesting, along with Lane Kiffin. I'm happy to see both of them there. Now, if you want to get down to brass tacks and say, okay, do you think he will make Mississippi State better? I don't know, because he is kind of a lifer, 7-5, 7-6 kind of coach, and you know, maybe everybody goes, well, that's what Mississippi State's used to. Okay, I'm fine with that then that's a fine hire. But if the goal is to actually get better and think outside the box, I don't think this is a great hire. I personally thought Bill Clark was an absolute incredible fit for Mississippi State, and apparently they didn't even give him so much as a bulldog sniff. So I don't feel like I feel like they had something else in mind, and that's what they wanted to do. And quite frankly, it looked for all the world last week that Steve Sarkisian was going to Mississippi State. I thought that would have been a better hire. A guy who has, coached at a big school. Now, he was unceremoniously deposed from that post at USC, but he's done it. He's been at a big-time college and knows what it takes. He's also been a part of some teams that have gone to the playoffs and gone to the national championship game, and he's coached some really incredible guys, and he has a lot of contacts in recruiting. Mike Leach is not a recruiter. And I heard Randy say earlier, man, if I have a wide receiver, I'm going to send him to Mississippi State. Well, are you? I mean, besides Michael Crabtree, how many other great wide receivers have Washington State have they put into the pros? Not many. I can't name any. I mean, there may be one. A lot of guys are on different rosters that I don't know. And then, so the only two players I can really remember from his tenure are Crabtree and Gardner Minshew, who transferred from East Carolina, who was going to walk on at Alabama before he just got a last-second scholarship to Washington State because they were desperate. So I look at his record, and I pulled that up this morning. At Texas Tech, he was 84-43, and that's pretty good. 47-33 in the conference. That's pretty good. However, I also have to throw in there, okay, it's not the best competition in the world, and it's not as though Texas Tech was playing the best of the best in non-conference. So they're not scheduling Michigan. Now, Michigan won't return their phone calls, but they're not even scheduling Michigan State. They're not known for that, and neither is Washington State. Washington State did one of those games with Auburn where they just show up injured and there and like, don't worry about the return game. It's cool, just pay us for this. I mean, that's the kind of program they are, and that's against the norm. They normally play Little Sisters of the Poor, and at Washington State he was 55-47. He had 2, 3, and 9 years. This past year, he was 6-7. Even in his best season, 11-2, they were blown out by Washington, as Brett mentioned. And even in their best season at Texas Tech, he was blown out by Mississippi in the Cotton Bowl. So, I mean, look, he's got a lot of flaws, and your counter to that can be, well, look at where he's coaching. And that's very true. Again, that's true. I understand that. And he's essentially Pullman, Washington, is to Lubbock, Texas, is to Starkville. They're all the same place, just in different states. So I think he's going to have that same kind of record, except in those other places, in the Pac-12, you're not playing against Alabama and LSU and Georgia, 3 teams that have all been to the college football playoffs. You're not playing against Auburn and Texas A&M, 2 teams that have much more history than you and have much more resources than you, or Florida, who's perennially been in the BCS discussion back when that was a thing, and they're getting better now. I mean, you're not facing off against those guys in those other conferences, and you are now. I'll tell you the other thing I thought about. Mike Leach seems like such a dynamic hire. It would have been a dynamic hire in the 2000s, in the mid-2000s. That's a great hire from Mississippi State. Back when Alabama and LSU and even Auburn to some extent are still doing more antiquated pro-style offenses, not really running fast. Well, see, Mike Leach was doing the running fast thing, and so it confused people. Let me tell you something. Think about this for a minute. When Alabama plays Mississippi State this year, and Mississippi State's going to score, I freely admit that, but they just give up on defense. They just ain't worried about that part. Alabama's going to score every time. Mississippi State's going to score every third time. And so it's still going to be a blowout, but instead of 21-0, it's going to be 48-18. So did you really improve is my question. And, again, I think it's fine, but I think Ole Miss got the better of these 2 hires. And because I think Lane Kiffin can recruit, I do think it's the risky of the 2 hires. But how much longer is Mike Leach even going to want to do this? Does he seem like a guy who's going to stay in college football the rest of his life? I mean, like you said, he seems more interested in planetary alignment and pirate ships and butterfly habitats. You don't know what he's going to do from day to day. And I'm going to tell you, eventually he's going to look around in Starkville, and I like Starkville. We do a lot of business with Starkville. I'm pro-Starkville. But Mike Leach is going to look around and go, I don't see any pirate ships or butterfly habitats and not even really any good telescopes around here. I'm going to have to get out of here.
You know, if you listened, and I did a lot when he was doing national radio, you could just hear in any kind of normal conversation how much he wanted to get back into coaching. And, yes, I agree. Luke, he's built – and this is a different day and age. If you can build a social media following like this guy's got – look, the likes that guy receives on social media aren't all Mississippi State fans. Right. I would say most of the time, there's a lot of Auburn fans that are liking.
He gets more likes because of planetary alignment.
Well, because it's interesting,
but that's
man.
who he is.
So let me spin. I think I'm saying the same thing Luke was saying.
Yeah.
But if I'm at a Mississippi State program, which, by the way, is not Alabama, it's not even Auburn, but it's definitely not one of those top-tier blue bloods like Alabama, and I just need some attention.
Oh, they did the right thing.
Give me a little attention. Give me someone. Now, I don't need the attention at the expense that I'm going to win 2 ball games.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to win 8 on average, and I'm going to get the attention that I think is very good for my athletic department in general, that's the reason I would call it a win. I know we're up against a break, Luke, but I think we're saying pretty much the same things.
We kind of are, because I do think they're going to get some attention on the front end. I also think they're going to get attention in 2 years when he realizes I'm up against about 6 juggernauts, and then I'm up against 4 other programs that are at least as good as me every single year, and I can't make any movement. Again, I don't understand. Bill Clark must have done something in his private life that people have pictures of, because I'm telling you, I have no idea why people hadn't just been beating his door down. Mississippi State and Bill Clark seemed like a marriage made in heaven to me, and I think they blew it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got a lot of thoughts on that too, Luke. We got to get out to the break.
Okay.
We appreciate it, buddy. Have a good weekend. Thanks so much. Up against the break. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. Since the dawn of time, mankind has needed tools. But not all tools are created equal. AGF Machine Rental Sales and Service has tools for all commercial construction or big residential projects. AGF Machinery offers the most durable and hardworking brands of ASV, Skyjack, and Wacker Neuson. Aerial lifts, scissor lifts, loaders, excavators, and forest equipment on demand for the best possible price. And backed by the Southeast's best team of professionals. Visit any of our strategic locations across Alabama for all your equipment needs. Or online at agfmachinery.com.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Give us a call if you got a comment or question. Obviously, you can comment on Facebook Live, but the phone number is 256-234-6221.
We're on so many outlets now, and just this past week I had 2 couples here in the Lake Martin region that one came up to my dad and actually wanted to make sure that we had heard. And they're the Birds that live down. They're from Panama City, up at the lake now living, and they say they don't miss any of our programs. And so many of you that come up, and we don't know where you catch us, but we're just proud that you do. It could be on the Alabama Cable Network here in the state of Alabama, which is Charter Communications all throughout the state. We're proud to work there. Here with Lake Broadcasting, so many different outlets as well for their services, whether it be Charter Channel 3 or 97.5 Kalijah Country. We got some new radio outlets coming on board here in 2020, but just do want to thank you. And as we head into the new year, this program's always been open phone lines, and it will continue to be 256-234-6221. Our Auburn Blitz programming as well will turn back into more of a daily phone-in and call-in show, and we're excited to be doing that as well. I know Andy's happy about that because you get some unique and interesting individuals that will call you on a consistent basis and keep the flow going. And but we've always thanked everyone since we started back up with their Facebook comments because we feed off of those. But thank all of you as we head into 2020. It's Brett and our 14th football season, I believe. It'll be our 12th year with the Alabama High School Athletic Association with our radio network here in the state. Caleb Brooks is traveling all over the state of Alabama.
Man, he had some cool stuff out yesterday.
Oh, man, he's doing a tremendous job. I'm really, really proud of him. But if you're out in the state of Alabama and you have stories that you want us to tell about kids and high schools and programs and administrations, we need to hear. We can't get all of them. You know, Brett and I are going to talk a little bit about high school basketball here in the upcoming segments. And one of the stories that I think's one of the best ones right now is Cam Woods over at Pinson Valley. Kid's averaging 36 a game.
Wouldn't you like him on your team?
I'm a little surprised the more that I watch and the height that he's gotten to that he's not getting the looks that he deserves. Brett, maybe you want to stick right here and we can kind of hit on that. But this guy, I don't know if you remember, you know, he's an 8th grader at midfield. He's about 5'5", and you're going, in the world, who is that? Why is he playing? And then you look down, he's got like 19, and he's hit like 6 3-pointers, and you're saying, well, I get it now. This kid's special. And then, you know, Coach Barber moves over from midfield to Pinson Valley. He heads over to Pinson Valley, and what do? They win their first 6A state championship last year. And he hit some key shots down the stretch for them to win. And they got one of the best athletes, big-time 5-star in Kool-Aid McKinstry that's playing with him as well. But he's the dude. He's the scoring machine.
Yeah. When you average 36 points a game, I mean, I don't care what – it's hard to average 36 points a game when you're out there shooting around by yourself in the backyard. This is going to kind of go all over the place, so everybody just kind of bear with me for a little bit. Going back to UAB's situation with Bill Clark, what more does Bill Clark have to do? I'm with Luke. I want to piggyback off that. It'll lead into Cam Wood's discussion with Pinson Valley. There are just some things that are as obvious as the nose on your face that the gurus out there, whoever those are in the particular sports, just choose to ignore. They choose to say, yeah, I know he's over there scoring 40 a night, but hey, he don't fit our profile. He doesn't fit our style. He's too small. They look for every excuse they can not to give that guy a chance because he doesn't have the measure. I know where this is going. I know where my own topic's going, but just bear with me for a second. And then on Bill Clark, I mean, how many games does he have to win at a program that basically self-inflicted the death penalty and play I'm saying that probably week in and week out, some of the teams that UAB has to play is as tough as most of those teams in the Big 12 and the Pac-12. Those are horrendous conferences right now. Look at their bowl records. And I know Auburn lost for all of you out there that know that we're Auburn fans up here, and the SEC 7-2, and Mississippi State and Auburn's 2 of the losses. I know Gus laid another egg. We got our own problems. But Bill Clark has done a phenomenal job. If he were over there going 4-7 every year, everybody go, that's about right. It's about what he is. The guy's won every single place he's ever been in his whole life in football. And he took a program that most people wouldn't have touched with a 10-foot pole and took them not only to a decent program, I'm talking about extraordinary winning program, 9, 10 wins a year, where you had a completely depleted roster. I mean, maybe he is getting offers and he's turning them down and they're not making it to the press. But in this day and age of social media and press and all that, if he were getting offers, it'd be out there. If Mississippi State would have called on him, it would have been out there. We knew Gene Chizik got called on, didn't we? We knew Joe Judge got called on. Does anybody still know who Joe Judge is? I don't. I know he's the coach for the Giants now, and probably over the long haul would have been a better hire for Mississippi State. But in my opinion, Mississippi State did the right thing of getting some attention, because that program right there was staring it dead, staring it total. Nobody wanted to go over there, no attention. Now they've got somebody to compete with Lane Kiffin. But am I wrong here? I mean, what is Bill Clark, like Luke said, I mean, what has Bill Clark done in his prior life that nobody wants to touch?
Well, here's, I don't think it's anything. And he did nothing but win at a level in high school football here in this state that we haven't had many do. And he built a program up from very good program to an exceptional program at Prattville, and then Jamie DuBose took over and he continued to do the same. But that program, I mean, Prattville was not someone that you talked about year in and year out before Bill Clark.
No.
We played them all the time. Now, they were great. They had great athletes. They were probably our equal.
They were good. They weren't great.
They weren't great.
He took them to great.
He took them to great. Here's my hopes. Look, I'm a state of the Alabama fan. I'm not even a big University of Alabama basher for the most part. You know that. I'm really a high school sports fan in general. I was so thrilled that UAB got the program back, because we've had so many kids here from this community have an opportunity to play college football just because they've got a program.
Yep.
And they've taken advantage of it. But back to your point, I'm hoping that he enjoys Birmingham and he sees a future there. And he is, by the way, making about $2 million a year. So he
could make $5.
He could make $5, but I mean, really.
But,
I know the way that you and I are, so I know who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
But if you got me to 2,
yeah,
and I was at a program that I think I could stay and grow that 2 to 4 or 5 within a 10-year period, and they already know that I'm doing a better job than anyone that's ever been here and probably anybody that's going to follow, and I've been loyal during a 2-year stretch where the University of Alabama and the Board of Trustees just knocked them and completely killed the program, but I stayed loyal. There's a part of me that goes, maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he knows he can reel off another 10 years where he makes $25 to $40 million. How much money do you need?
Well, you don't, and I don't think it's that part. I hear you there. I mean, he may be happy, and if that's his plan, so be it. But I don't see any people coming after him. I understand that.
But I wonder if he's putting the word out there that, look, I'm good.
I think a good college program with a winner is it's just like a recruit saying, I've shut my recruiting down, I'm signing with Georgia. Those recruiters are still coming after you until you put that name.
Bear with me, though. Let me spin this, Brett. Let's say he goes to Mississippi State, takes $5 million.
Okay. Can you pause for a second?
Yeah.
I know we got to get out there our break. Yeah. And we come back, we're going to keep this going. Stay tuned. Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider, Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted, Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
Expect it or not, the loss of a loved one is difficult. Put your family first by planning ahead. This is Joseph Dean, new owner of Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers. We are a full-service funeral home with an on-site crematory and cemetery. Whether your need is immediate or you would like to plan in advance, our experienced, compassionate staff can assist you in designing an enduring memorial experience, burial, or cremation. Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers on Highway 280 in Camp Hill or online, alabamafuneralhomes.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn on South College. New Kias at 0% APR financing and no payments for 90 days. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn. Kia of Auburn.com.
This is Coach Pat Dye. At Kia of Auburn, you are always number one.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
Welcome back to the Saturday Sports Countdown. A few minutes left in this short break as we head to the top of the hour, or short segment as we head to the top of the hour. Finishing up, we're talking about Bill Clark, and then we'll lead into something similar on the player side with Woods at Pinson Valley. But Bill Clark, again, my point is I haven't seen or heard of a bigger program coming after him. I think that's what Luke was saying too, but you bring up an interesting scenario.
Well, I'm just saying that, I mean, look, you don't reach out to him, you reach out to the agent.
Yep.
And
well, I mean, that's what I mean.
Well, but if I'm the agent and here's where I am. This is just my personal. If I'm at UAB and I'm making $2 million a year, and I've won 10-plus games back-to-back seasons after the death penalty, which the Board of Trustees levied over UAB. And I've won 10-plus games in back-to-back, and I can see that I'm growing this thing and it's getting better. There is no way in the world, and maybe this says a little bit about the SEC and the bottom 5 maybe teams in the SEC. There's no way I'd leave UAB for Mississippi State. You say, well, Mississippi State, isn't it a better program than UAB? Of course, it's in the SEC. But you can win at UAB on a consistent basis.
Against your competition that you got.
My gosh, what's Mississippi State, 7th out of 8? 7 out of 8 teams? That's about their normal position.
6 out of 7. They're 7 in both divisions.
6 out of 7 in the SEC West? Is that where you would put them?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, them Ole Miss and Arkansas battle it out at the bottom.
It's too risky. From a business standpoint, if you're just making a business decision, it's too risky. You know, I would say that his value over the next 10 years at UAB is going to be somewhere between $25 and $40 million. That's what he's going to make. What's the odds of whoever gets the head football coach at Mississippi State being there after 4 years? What do you think?
Well, I mean, just look at their history.
Would you say 50-50 at best?
Yeah, with what they've got to fight now. I mean, Dan Mullen could have stayed as long as he wanted to. Jackie Sherrill stayed for a long time. But in this day and age now, where it's not glamorous to come into this division because of what you got to play against every week, and like you said, you automatically start off probably in 5th position at best. No, it's not glamorous from that standpoint. And I think a lot of people miss that point, that the SEC, oh man, why wouldn't you leave for that program? Well, it ain't like you leaving to go to LSU, Auburn, or Alabama, or even Texas A&M. You leaving to go to one of those teams at the bottom that have to fight that every year, and you're recruiting in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, and they're all up there battling for top 8 positions every year. it's apples to oranges. It's a good point.
So
Real good point.
Well, from a business standpoint, if you are only there 4 years and you make 5 each of those, you've made 20. If I just said that my value over a 10-year stretch is somewhere between 25 and 40 at a school that you're going to leave being the best coach ever to have been there, and the ceiling's even higher than that, I think
you're not going to be messed with. You know, there's something to be said when you can walk in your office and feel comfortable every day going, look, man, I may have a couple of down years, but ain't nobody going to come knock on my door. I've already proven what I can do here, and I don't know that anybody else could have. So I'm pretty confident I'm going to be left alone. So there is something to be said about that, too, that you're not constantly sitting there worried about, man, if you don't get it turned around this year, you know, you're going to be out the door.
Look, and maybe this is just being giving too much credit to coaches out there, but I truly believe that they get into that profession because they love coaching and they love reaching men and teaching. That guy's going to coach. He's going to coach 10 or 15 more years anyway, because if he quit, he wouldn't be doing what we see high school coaches in this state make a decision all the time to turn down college and a lot more money because they choose to stay and they feel like they're doing what they're here to do.
Well, let's just evaluate the bottom 3 in the West and who they just hired. All 3 of them had to hire a new coach.
Yeah.
Arkansas goes and gets Sam Pittman. He was offensive line coach at Georgia. You know why they went and got an offensive line coach at Georgia? Because nobody wanted that job. Okay? Ole Miss went and got Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin, you know this, is as crazy as an outhouse rat. Let me just go on and throw it. He's just that crazy. He's crazy. And so you don't know what he's going to do. He's tweeting his opponent. He's texting him and putting things out there, and he's a game player. He's a kid. He loves to play games. So, yes, he can coach, but there's a lot of other crap that goes with him. Ole Miss goes, man, this is the best we can do. Okay? A la Mississippi State coming in. They hired Joe Moorhead, which was terrible, in my opinion. I knew from the start, I'm like, where's the fit? He ain't ever even been to the South. Okay? So he gets fired after 2 years. They did at least know, hey, I don't know who we're going to get next, but this ain't working.
Yeah.
So we got to get him out of here. So they get him out, and so they try 3 or 4 people. They don't want the job because probably what you're saying, they're going, good Lord, man, the uphill battle here and the fan expectation just don't match up. I'm not going to be able to handle this. So they go out and find the most eccentric, weird, crazy guy that you can find up in Pullman, Washington, which if you ever get a guy to leave a place, you can get them to leave Pullman, Washington to go to Starkville, Mississippi, I'm guessing. I've never been to Pullman. I've been to Starkville, but I ain't never been to Pullman. There ain't a lot in Starkville. I hear that Pullman's about the same. And Mike Leach knows out there on the West Coast, he ain't getting a lot of pub. I mean, he gets pub because of the stuff he does on social, but he comes back to SEC where he can get a spotlight on him. That's what those 3 programs had to go out and do, man. There wasn't nobody lined up to come to those jobs, even though they're in the SEC and there's a lot of glamour. It's about where you are. It's not Georgia, Florida in the East or Alabama, LSU, Auburn in the West. It's the bottom tier. It's the South Carolina, it's the Vanderbilt, Kentucky over there. It's like Stoops. They know they're ever going to run Stoops off.
That couldn't hire any better.
Just lucky to keep him.
Yeah.
Really. To be honest, that's kind of the summation of that. When we come back, I'm going to get into this talk with Cam Woods over there at Pinson Valley. I mean, because that kid, he is, and it's mind-blowing that somebody has not come after that guy yet. And we'll talk about that and a lot more on the other side. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown coming your way right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Since the dawn of time, mankind has needed tools. But not all tools are created equal. AGF Machine Rental Sales and Service has tools for all commercial construction or big residential projects. AGF Machinery offers the most durable and hardworking brands of ASV, Skyjack, and Wacker Neusen. Aerial lifts, scissor lifts, loaders, excavators, and forest equipment on demand for the best possible price. And backed by the Southeast's best team of professionals. Visit any of our strategic locations across Alabama for all your equipment needs. Or online at agfmachinery.com.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Appreciate all of you out there watching and listening. I was just telling Randy, and I'm going to get to this story a little bit later on, so I kind of tease this a little bit. I'm big into sports cards and value and investing and all that, and sports memorabilia. And our good friend Justin Clayton hit a huge prize last night. I'll explain all that a little bit later on, but I do want to tell everybody that story's coming up, and congrats again to Justin. I don't know if he even went to sleep last night. I probably wouldn't either, because he's got a chance for a monster card in the business, the 52 Topps Mickey Mantle, and if he gets that card, he's going to have a tough decision to make whether he wants to hold on to it or take up somebody's offer to write him about a $40,000 check.
Why do you think the card market has picked back up? Do you have a feel on that?
I think it's the type of cards that are being produced, the rarity of them. They're not overproducing them anymore. See, when cards hold value just like anything because of rarity. And in the 80s and 90s, Topps and Fleer, I guess they ran the printing press all night. They never, when they sent somebody out, it was 3 shifts running every day, and cards, getting pulled out. And so there was so many in the market, they lost their value. So I think the card industry figured it out that, let's print less, but let's put, in what we print out there, let's make it, something that people can go out there and really clamor for. One-of-one cards, only printing one of that card, or numbering cards to 25. So if you get that card, there's only 25 of them made. Having a lot of autographs on the cards already coming from the companies that are certified, so there's not a lot of fake stuff in the industry. That's increased the value. The quality of the actual card and what they put on there. They put gold, actual gold, 24 karat gold leaf print on some of these things. So there's like real value to this thing. I think a lot of that. So all your older cards still, that's why the Mickey Mantle and the Honus Wagner, they're popular because they didn't make very many of them. So, and the ones that they make, if you find one in really good condition, that just makes the price go even more high. So that's kind of one of those deals, but I'll go ahead and tell the story since we're in this, and I've already gone on for 3 or 4 minutes. We watched this breaker, and a card breaker, and basically what that means is this is a guy that opens cards live from his card shop. You buy different things. Well, anyway, he has this this product that he puts together where he takes monster cards, like expensive cards, and he puts them in his product, and you can buy a couple packs, and it's like $200-something a pack, but you get one card in each pack. But when you pull out a card, there's a chance it's going to be an $800 or $900 card. It ain't like you getting some $10 card out of it. Anyway, he puts 2 golden tickets in each 100 card pack run. Well, last time I got one of the 10 golden tickets, and it ended up being like a $5,000 prize out of it. All the prizes are top, but that's the minimum that you can get. Well, Justin last night, there was another 100-pack run, and the guy thought that they had left one of the golden tickets out because Justin literally was the last pack left. When they call the name out, they go, who's left? There was 1 pack left. There was 1 golden ticket left. It was either they messed up and didn't put the other one in there, or Justin was guaranteed to win it. They opened the pack, and it had the golden ticket in there. I mean, and Justin was the last one to buy one. That was the whole crazy thing. I'd finally talked him into buying the golden ticket. I'm like, you need to hurry before they sell out. And then as they were going down through there, I was about to text him like, man, you chickened out, didn't even buy one. Bought the last one. They pulled it, and he's got a chance at that Mickey Mantle card.
Do you get anything out of this?
Man, I get a lot out of it. I was as excited for him.
No,
as
I'm talking about, is he going to give you anything for you selling
Probably
him?
not. I don't expect it. I don't expect him to. He just told me last night that on the way to the basketball game this morning, with me and him hitting so many good things, that he's going to go buy some lottery tickets. I said, well, go buy some lottery tickets, and then if we happen to pull something there, we'll all figure it out.
It's, you know, I keep up. I watch a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk stuff. I'm really interested in what he sells and his thoughts on marketing and social media, and so blah, 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 blah. There's probably a lot of you out there that are business people that follow him as well, but he is totally obsessed and 110% all in on this card market, which
I think he's right.
When he was even before he was in his teens, he used to go to these card shows, and he's always been in it, and it's kind of his hobby anyway. But it's interesting to hear and see a rejuvenation, but it feels like whoever's running these companies have started to figure it out.
Can I tell you, and I'll give you an example of what he was talking about. Again, the market in the 80s and 90s got flooded, so it devalued the cards. People were buying them, so what? All right, well, actually more the 90s and 80s, because the 86 Jordan rookie is still astronomical. The cards now that are being produced, this Zion's really gotten a lot of people in the last year back in the market, because if you look at LeBron James and Michael Jordan and what their cards have done, they're banking on this. Well, there's even more rare cards out there for Zion, and they know that. The guy pulled a 1-of-1 last night out of a pack. I mean, a 1-of-1's Panini only produced one of that card, and Zion signed it. Well, you know what they're asking for that card right now? And Zion hadn't played a single play in the NBA in a real game. $60,000. And the guy sold it to him last night on the Breaker Show in a private message board. He sold it to me. That's how much the guy that was breaking those cards wanted that particular card. He's a huge Zion fan. He wanted that 1-of-1. It's an international market. See, all the Chinese and Japanese people are buying up NBA products as much as they can. So when NBA cards come out, there's even less in the United States because they buy as much as they can to get over there because they are enamored with NBA. That 1-of-1 Zion card, it's what the market calls for. It's what somebody's willing to write you a check for. That guy sold that card probably for $50,000 last night. And he bought a $300 box of cards. One $300 box of cards, that card got pulled, and that guy wrote him a $50,000. That's a life-changing thing, man.
So it sounds like this is a lot like people that enjoy gambling, people that enjoy but love sports, and it brings the mix of both. And then if you don't want to cash in, like when you gamble, you're going to cash in.
That's right.
If you don't, you want to hold your memorabilia like you do, which is I know what you do. You don't give up anything, especially if you know somebody wants something. You're definitely not going to sell it to them. So I don't know. It's a cool market. It's a cool thing for sports fans, and it's crazy how much it's grown. When did all this start back up, Brett? Where they really got it figured out, and it's.
I think probably in the mid 2000s. You know, the 90s was a flooded market. And then, you know, with LeBron James, I think the LeBron 02-03 kind of got it all stirred back up. And, man, it's never been stronger baseball, Mike Trout right now, man. And I know when you compare him to Ted Williams and all that kind of stuff, but in the modern day era, Mike Trout, what he's done, the MVPs, his potential still left out there, what they think he's going to do over time if he doesn't do anything to taint his. It's like a stock. You're investing in a human instead of a company. You're investing in what you think that person's going to do and what they're going to do.
Because you got a really big-time Tiger Woods. Just give that story.
Oh, yeah. Tiger Woods, I mean, I've personally invested into, numerous huge products with Tiger Woods. And I think right now, and his stuff took a dip when all that crap
That's where
happened.
I was going.
It took a dip in 09 and 10. And then you think he's not ever going to come back, and you're like, well, crap, I got all this, then people decide if they want to sell it and try to get rid of it. And I just said, I'm going to wait and hold on. And I had an opportunity to get something at a very good price. It's very rare. And then now look at him now. So he wins the Masters last year. He just captained the President's Cup. They won that. He won another tournament. He's just got a lot. He looks like he's coming back, and I'm pulling for him big time.
It's like art. It's
what
art
it
here.
is.
I mean, it's an investment. It's like holding a stock and not getting rid of it too soon, even though that there's a down cycle that, of course, we're going to have.
You just have to ride it, and you have to make a decision. Are you willing to get rid of it at that point, or you want to hold on to it? It's fun. And let me say one more thing before we go to break. I never would have known anything about that little card shop in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and if it wasn't for social media.
Oh yeah, I think that has a lot to do with a lot of this.
YouTube and Facebook is the only reason he has a show. Is the only reason he has sold he's approaching $25 million in sales in baseball, football, and basketball cards in a little bitty shop in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And every time he comes on there, he's got 500 people watching him because they're buying products and stuff, and he's got a market. But that's I never would have known that. He would have never had an outlet to sell
10 years ago.
No, to even get to this point. He wouldn't ever had a chance to even do this if it wasn't
Isn't
for
it
that.
beautiful?
It is unreal. Up against the break. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
Hey, slow down, buddy. This ain't Talladega, and that race car driver's number on your back window, you ain't him. Truth is, just 10 miles over the speed limit, and your chances of killing someone are 4 times higher. So forget the number on your window and memorize the one on that orange prison jumpsuit. Stop speeding before speeding stops you.
Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
You already know the power and reliability of a Mahindra tractor. Get ready to meet their ATV and UTV lines. Haul more and tow more. Do more. Reaching speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Models have a 12-inch ground clearance and the ability to haul up to 1,200 pounds. There's a Mahindra utility vehicle and a model specifically to get the job done. Test drive today at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. Serving Tallapoosa, Coosa, Clay, and Talladega counties. 256-392-3613.
Alex City Marines, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, and the Yerkes invite you by to see what they have available today. The 2020 Manitous and Landaus are in, and boy, are they gorgeous. Also, some great deals on demos. Take advantage of that while they last. Alex City Marine also is doing shrink wrapping, storage. Get in line now. In fact, call this number, 256-215-FISH. Alex City Marine, Alex City.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga.
And I'm Coco. Do you owe more on your vehicle than it's worth? Are you stuck with high interest rates? We may be able to help.
If you've made your last 12 consecutive payments on time and would like to get a new vehicle for the same or close to the same payment and save thousands of dollars in interest, you may qualify.
So come by and see us and let us show you the Vaden way.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, located on Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown. Give us a call, 256-234-6221, or give us a comment on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you out there.
You know, we're in high school basketball season, and Brett and I are getting prepared here in the next couple of months to go over and cover the semifinals and the finals for the HSA radio network. I don't know about you, but I love it.
It's so much
Otherwise,
fun.
over the last 12 years, I wouldn't have seen the athletes and the quality of athletes that we have in this state if I don't have the opportunity to go and work and do these broadcasts.
And can I say one thing, and as I let you continue, Caleb Brooks is doing such a great job for us with the HSA network. I look as much forward to watching his stuff maybe as anybody out there in the state, and we're part of the group because you and I haven't had a chance to ever do this before. And let me just toot the horn of the HSA and us for just a second. We don't do that very often. But our idea to go out and see all of these different high schools, all that's been there forever, but nobody's ever done it. Well, we had the idea to do it and bring this content, you know, and to go out there and do a 94-foot like we saw last night, to do a sit-down with Piedmont's head coach, see their facilities. I mean, that stuff, again, going back to the last conversation we had, never would have been able to even happen without social media. So if you don't think social media out there is not powerful, now look, I know there's some downside to everything. Yeah, there's a bunch of shadow riders out there in the weeds that hate and that like to poke at people when they do good and they try to bring people down. You can't worry about that stuff. You got to concentrate on the good stuff and what it brings to you. Like that story we just said, $8 million. The guy made $8 million this year running a card shop, and he wouldn't have been able to do that if it weren't for social media. We wouldn't be able to bring you all these great stories without social media and without Caleb Brooks going around these schools. So you're right. We get to see them at the venues, but now you get to see the behind the scenes, where they're from, their stories, how they got to where they are. I love it, man. I love it.
And be able to pass it along and to see programs. You know, let me start with Mountain Brook just real quick. Over the last decade, to watch what they've done with basketball, is it not a breath of fresh air?
Man, I'm telling you, those guys, every time you send me something, they won another tournament. And they're not winning. They have expanded their competition way beyond the borders of Alabama. They love winning. That tells you where that program is. Not that they diminish state championships, but they've won so much now, they're like, man, we got to go somewhere else to get more competition. And if you look at their roster and you look at who they've got, yeah, they had a top player last year. I understand that. But for the most, one guy can't go out there and play by himself.
And they were winning them before him, and they're winning after him.
That's right. So it wasn't a flash in the pan, is what I was getting at. So yes, it is. And you know, Bucky's got a system in at Mountain Brook, and you know, to see it up close and personal, to see that every time there's a stop and play, he does a mass sub. It's a system. He's got a thing that you don't take. If you take a jump shot, it better be a three-pointer, or you don't take 15-footers. You shoot layups, you shoot three-pointers. It works. He's a numbers guy. You know, everybody knows his background, and he very analytically thinks analytically. So everything is processed. And he's like, well, I'm taking a jump shot, might as well be behind the arc because you get one more point instead of shooting one 3 foot in front of the arc and only getting 2 points. Your chances are about the same. So he's done a phenomenal job. It's crazy to watch it up close and personal.
You know, I don't know about you, but I like looking at, say, Nick Saban's of the world. And I'm really intrigued to see how a guy like that runs past competition. Like, what is it about him, or what is it about these programs or cultures that gets you to that level? And I'm so very intrigued with Mountain Brook at this point because, you know, first off, selfishly, I've got 2 nephews, a whole bunch of friends that have kids, and I've got a boy that's 6 years old that's not quite there yet, and I want to see our programs here locally get to that point. So I'm going, what in the world? Because I know it's not just happening. This isn't just some miracle out of the sky that you build these cultures and you build these programs, or you build these baseball factories like Coleman's built at this point.
And Thompson overnight just didn't become wrestling geniuses.
No, you know, how is it happening?
It's a process. There's that term.
And I think it's very important for us in our role with AHSA and the radio network and media representatives here in the state to highlight those.
Yeah.
And those that are interested in making their stuff better, they'll either grab a hold of it or they won't. But it doesn't matter. It's still interesting that we do that. But a couple of stories. Let's get it, and we'll have a couple of segments on this. But one that is, AL.com just did an article on Cam Woods. And you may say, who's Cam Woods? Well, he's a little point guard, was a little point guard at midfield 5 years ago that was an 8th grader starting out there at 5'5".
Real little now.
No, he's not at all.
No.
Not as Auburn just had their best point guard in program history is 5'10".
And look at what's come. Yeah, no kidding.
So,
what's coming in.
Look, I mean, you don't have to be massive, but here, Cam Woods was at midfield, winning championships. Coach Barber, who I think dresses to the nines, and a lot of people around the state know him for that. But he can coach them up as well. But right now, he has moved over to Pinson Valley. Last year, they won the 6A state championship for the first time. And I want to read off a bit of this article on AL.com, which, by the way, he has no Power 5 offers. Zero.
Now, how is that?
He's 6'1", 170 pounds.
So he's not an undersized guy.
No, he's got plenty, but the 6'1", 170-pound senior scored more than 50 points earlier this season. By the way, this Josh Bean, who does an outstanding job covering sports here in the state.
He does.
I strongly suggest that if you care about high school sports, you go out there and you find Josh. But he scored 50 points earlier this season in victories over Gadsden midfield. Also had 49 against North Little Rock, Arkansas, 48 against Jeff Davis, and 44 against Clay Chalkville. Currently, he's averaging 36 points per game, yet he has no Power 5 offers out there. And it comes to me, and what am I missing? You've seen a lot of him. I've been watching him for 5 years. What am I missing when you see him out there? And people knock this young man maybe, or they're looking for a flaw harder in this young man in his game than anybody I've ever seen.
It's all the excuses of why he didn't fit their program. Now, refresh my memory. Who was the kid from Winona that was so good, the point guard that we watched in person, that went to Alabama?
Justin,
yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yep.
I can't. Went out, now he's out at Arizona and whatever. It's the same deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the same deal. Alabama at that time, not a very good program. Really, only offer he had. And so, he goes to Alabama, and then, it doesn't work out, but he's playing, he can play in the SEC. But he just didn't like the situation and the coaching, and so he left and went to Arizona. And Auburn actually played against him in the Maui Invitational last year out there. But anyway, that's the kind of thing. You don't have to be – Sharif Cooper's not massive. Look at him. Man, he is so small, but he's the number 1 point guard in the country. And he's coming to Auburn next year. And there ain't anybody out there that thinks that he's not going to be able to cut the mustard in this conference. Jared Harper just showed you that you can be, and he's doing it in the G League, in the NBA. When are they going to call him up, by the way? How many times has he got to score 30 or have, a double-double or whatever before they decide to bring him up? So I think he'll end up getting some offers, I would think. It's just too crazy to look at the numbers and what he does on a night-in and night-out basis to not to give that kid an offer. I mean, I don't know if Bruce Pearl looks at him. I don't know if Nate Oates looks at him. I think wherever he goes, he's going to be a heck of a player.
I know we're up against the break. When we come back, we're going to run down the Alabama Sports Writers Association polls for both the boys and the girls, 1A through 7A, and talk a little bit about those, and then we'll close out heading into college basketball today and maybe a little bit more college football.
And national championship on Monday. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Scotty Fortenberry is Dadeville and the Lake Martin area's full-service Alpha agent. His office on Broadneck Street offers comprehensive life, home, auto, and boat insurance at Alpha's competitive rates. Scotty and Alpha Insurance are Alabama's #1 life insurance company for a reason. You'll always get the personal attention you and your family need. Scotty also has your commercial needs covered, so whether it's just a quote or full insurance evaluation, call Alpha agent Scotty Fortenberry at 256-825-9211.
Become a member of the Superior family. Superior GMC Cadillac, Superior Hyundai, or Superior Automotive Pre-Owned. Between our 3 dealers in East Central Alabama, we offer the superior selection and service for any buyer's needs. All with the personal touch of being locally family-owned and operated. Check out any of our dealers online, or our 3 great lots in Anniston on Quintard, or our pre-owned Superstore Pell City, and join the Superior family of value.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cash aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
Guys, it's back! Inline skating.
Rock and roll hair?
Calling this thing a pound sign instead of a hashtag? No, the sensation is back at Zaxby's.
The Zensation Salad is back, and introducing the new Zensation Filet Sandwich Meal with hand-breaded chicken, Asian slaw, wonton strips, and citrus vinaigrette, both served with an egg roll. The Zensation Salad and Filet Sandwich Meal, only at Zaxby's.
The door's open, the beer's cold, and the biscuits are hot at Foshee Watts on Dable Road in Alexander City. Fishing season is in year-round, and live bait is available. Non-ethanol gas is available along with propane and pellet ice. So come on by and see what we're all about, where the kitchen is open Monday through Friday early at Foshee Watts on Dable Road in Alexander City. And tell them old Katie sent you right here from the front porch, WAXC TV.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. 30 minutes left in this morning's show. We'll slide over. I got a lot to cram in this last 30 minutes here. I want to start with the high school polls for basketball.
And I'll give a quick rundown on Class 7A and the boys' side. It is Mountain Brook 20-1. They're the #1 team in Class 7A. Lee Montgomery's 18-0. High-flying Lee Montgomery, led by Duke Miles there at point guard. I love watching them play. Lee Montgomery does a better version of Mountain Brook than Mountain Brook last year as far as wholesale substitutions, full court man pressure.
Both those teams being 6A next year,
They
by
do
the way.
isn't that scary? Thompson 16-6, they're third. McGill-Tulin's 15-6, they're fourth. By the way, they'll be in 6A next year.
Man, what is
so
going
three
on?
of the top 4 teams in Class 7A in basketball will be 6A programs.
No
next
wonder
year.
Daphne tweeted out they were happy to move up. I don't blame them.
So moving down, it's Hoover 5th, Huntsville 6th, Fairhope 7th, Tuscaloosa County 8th, Florence 9, and Austin rounds out the top 10. In Class 6A, my good friend and my broadcast partner many times, Steve Ward, has his Huffman team at 18-2 right there at the top of Class 6A. Number 2 is that Cam Woods-led Pinson Valley team. They're 16-3. 3 is May Jemison, 4 Hartselle, 5 BC Rain, 6 Lee Huntsville, 7 Albertville, 8 Buckhorn, 9 Northridge, 10 Eufaula. I love seeing Steve up there. He does a great job. He and his wife love basketball and do a great job over in the Birmingham area. But Huffman couldn't get over the Trendon, Watford, and Mountain Brook hump the last couple of years. They've lost 2 regional finals, single buckets at the end of the ball game. Watch out. I'd love to see Huffman win them one.
I think they got a real good shot this year. You mentioned Eufaula at number 10. Boy, what's going on over there with their athletics right now? They're just at the top and everything.
They're doing a great job. You got a good group coming through and taking advantage of them. They've been good in basketball for a long time.
They have.
Class 5A, Fairfield, Woodlawn, Winona, those are your top 3 teams. In Class 4A, your top 3 teams are Williamson, Sumter Central, and UMS Wright.
UMS Wright.
Yep, Class 3A, Plainview still right there at the top of Class 3A. They've won the last couple of state championships with the exact same backdoor play for both to win it.
That story's you forget all these things because you see so much throughout the year and over the years, but that story last year, to have that happen, identical again.
Cade Milliken, just
same guy.
Bounce pass.
Same play, same guy.
Unreal. Piedmont's 2, there's a program that does it as well. We were over there at Piedmont yesterday, weren't we, getting some footage, and they're number 2 in basketball. 3rd's Thomasville. Down in Class 2A, good luck playing Lafayette this year. They're 15-0 in Class 2A. Second best team there is Vincent, and 3rd's Tanner. In Class 1A, it's Skyline, Spring Garden, Covenant Christian.
And just a lot of those names that you reel off are the ones that we see year in and year out in Birmingham. And it'll be here in about a month, somewhere around in there, month and a half. At the end of February, first part of March is when the finals will be in Birmingham. If you've never been to that tournament before, you're really selling yourself short, because it's just a phenomenal event all the way around. We have so much fun with it. It's long, it's grueling, but I mean, if you love basketball, there is no other place to be that whole week than up in Birmingham.
Here's your top 3 ranked teams in girls Class 1A through 7A. In 7A, it's Hoover number 1, Spain Park number 2, and Foley number 3. In Class 6A, there's Hazel Green again. There's one we need to go do a story on.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't know what's going on.
You know, that's the crazy thing. We feel like we've done so much, and we ain't even hit the tip of the iceberg.
There's too much out there. Hazel Green, though, with Tim Miller as the coach, and that whole community's obsessed with.
And where was he prior to Hazel Green?
Was it Bob Jones?
Bob Jones, that's right, Bob Jones.
Athens 2, Lee Huntsville 3. In Class 5A, it's Charles Henderson, again, still sitting there at 1. Ramsey 2, that's Steve's wife, Javonka, there at number, has Ramsey at number 2 at 15
Boy, they know
and 4.
how to coach, don't they?
Yeah, Central Tuscaloosa's number 3. In Class 4A, Rogers 1, Greensboro 2, and Anniston 3. Class 3A, Pisgah. Pisgah can play basketball on girls' side too, can't they? Prattville Christian and T.R. Miller. Cold Springs is your number 1 team in Class 2A, Collinsville and Geneva County. And rounding out in Class 1A at Spring Garden, Skyline, and St. Luke's. Same teams I call year in and year out.
Spring Garden, Pisgah, I mean, Cold Spring. I mean, all of those teams they're just kind of ingrained into our mind because we're used to seeing them year in and year out. So that's your top teams in the girls and the boys side. We were trying to find the wrestling rankings. I know for all you Benjamin Russell fans out there, our team's doing really, really well right now. Coach Ransall has this program poised again to compete for another state championship, and had them right there the last couple of years. They've got a couple tough ones, that they're battling with. Wetumpka and Oxford. I know they finished second in the Oxford tournament last night, but they had 3 open spots there that we didn't wrestle in, so it kind of hurts you. But week prior went down to Wetumpka and won that, got the wrestling spotlight of the week. Hezekiah Hunter did for the state with Ron Ingram, so congratulations to him. And Saxon Coker just continues to just be a machine out there. We just did a profile on Sandlin Pike this week as Lake Martin, Lisa McClendon, Lake Martin Area Player of the Week.
8th grade.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, that's the beauty of wrestling. Wrestling is size on size. Now, size on size, a 12th grade 112 compared to an 8th grade 112, I would guess is a big difference. But it's still size on size.
It is.
So when you're throwing it out there, you don't feel like the discrepancy is too large. And Saxon's been wrestling. He's a 6-year starter for the Wildcats all the way back to the 7th grade. I can't imagine, even during the strong stretch that Coach Lee had here where we won 11 state championships in a row, that we've ever had a kid come through that school that's won as many matches as Saxon Coker.
I don't think so.
I think it would almost be impossible.
Yeah, because of the matches he's wrestled.
Yeah, and how the winning percentage that he's had during those matches.
Good stuff going on around here, and congratulations. They got a chance to win a state championship, no doubt about it. Up against the break. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Your comfort is our number one concern. Advanced heat and air.
With the hot summer season just around the corner, it's time to decide if your current air conditioning system will keep you cool this year. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning for a free estimate on a brand new energy-efficient Trane heat pump system for your home or business. Your comfort is our number one concern. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-234-5052.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local Cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
Grab a 5-quart jug of Napa conventional motor oil for only $12.99 for a limited time at Napa Auto Parts. We're ready for back to school, even if you aren't ready. Purchase any Napa Automotive battery and receive $25 back by mail at Napa Auto Parts.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal, the encore performance, the first date, the internship, and now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. A couple segments left in today's show. Let's shift over and talk some basketball. Auburn and Alabama on the college side. Both will tip at 11 o'clock. Auburn originally scheduled for 5 this afternoon, but with this weather coming across, and let's just let everybody know out there, I know in the past people go, oh, it's bad weather, and it doesn't end up being as bad as you think it is. It doesn't matter if it does or not. You need to be precautious today, because with as much talk this far out as we've heard with weather and Auburn changing the time of their game, they're expecting it to be pretty serious everywhere. As a line moves all the way across the state, it just depends on where you are, is what time it gets to you. So around this area between 3 and 8 o'clock tonight is when they're expecting. So just kind of be aware of that and be safe. Alabama, Kentucky first. Let's talk about that game. Alabama, playing Kentucky. This Kentucky team, Randy, they're vulnerable. I mean, they're not a team that you look at. I mean, they've got some great players. Maxey, obviously, is one of the better freshmen in the country. But this is a Kentucky team. If you want to play them, you want to play them right now. As they get on down the line in the season, I think that'll be a team that'll be a little bit tougher to deal with as they get a little bit more chemistry together. But Alabama, I think probably Luke was being a little bit, maybe he was spot on. He didn't really think they have a chance. I think with the way Alabama shoots basketball, they got a chance, especially if Petty's hot.
Well, they do, but defensively they've got to get better. And they got to be able to play well down in the post, which I still think is a little bit of an issue, especially on the offensive end for Alabama. Kentucky is good down in the post with E.J. Montgomery down there that actually was an original Auburn commit that during all of that nightmare that went on I think the NCAA investigation is still lingering out there for a lot of programs, including Auburn, at least what is
going to
come
talk about
from
this for 10 years?
I guess so.
I mean, we're going to talk about this for 10 years.
It's what you deal with there. But they're really good in the post. Their post guys don't extend you too much. They're good around the bucket, and Alabama, from a defensive standpoint, is okay, but they're not getting much inside. So it really becomes, can Petty get the 20 to 25 that they're going to need to win this basketball game?
Well, he's their leading scorer on the year now at 16.7 a game.
Did you think that was going to happen?
Lord, no.
I didn't either.
But this last month, he's become
on.
the player that everybody thought he was. All right, here's the breakdown of Alabama, Kentucky. Alabama's averaging 84.4 points per game. It's tops in the conference. Kentucky only scoring 74.7 points per game. Alabama gives up 78.9. That's one of the worst in the league. Kentucky only gives up 62. So that kind of gives you the layout. Alabama scores a lot. They give up a lot. Kentucky scores about average. Doesn't give up very many, giving up in the 60s. So big stuff there. Maxey's their leading scorer, 14 points per game, as I just mentioned. Petty at 16.7 points per game. And those guys, Petty's field goal percentage is right at 50%.
Wow.
On the year. Maxey's is 42.5. So Petty's really stepped it up, man. Telling you, and again, I know we're not going to fast forward past the Georgia game, but Auburn going into Coleman Coliseum next Wednesday. I'm just warning you.
It's going to be tough, but all games where you're going up against a rival in a environment where you're not a lot better than we know better. But hey, if I were to tell you Auburn finishes this season with 12 or 13 wins in conference, would you be the happiest man in the world?
Man, absolutely. Because what does that put? You play 18 conference games?
Yeah, so, you'd lose 5 or 6 games.
12 and 6?
It's going to happen. Auburn's already off to a 2-0 start.
Yeah, they're just – everything right now, you just riding with house money. You're going to lose at some point in time. Auburn could easily lose today against a really good Georgia team that's got maybe the number 1 player in the draft coming up in Anthony Edwards. Real quick for Alabama, though, something that I wanted to bring up. You know what Kentucky's going for today?
What's that?
1,000th SEC victory today.
Who's the number 2 team? Does it say that?
Let's see. Says the Wildcats are the first basketball program to reach 2,000 total victories. Kentucky looking for their 1,000th SEC victory on Saturday. Let's go down through here and see if they put anybody.
I wonder if any other SEC basketball programs got 800 victories. I would be willing to say no.
Justin just sent us a text that Alabama's number 2.
Yeah, I believe that.
Well, I don't know how many, though. It doesn't say in here how many wins that they have in conference play. But Kentucky going for their 1,000th SEC victory today. So it's pretty big stuff.
Let's spin over to Auburn and Georgia, though. And these two teams' matchups, when you look offensively, they're almost identical. Auburn's averaging 82 points per game, Georgia 80. Field goal percentage, Auburn 46%, Georgia 46%. Rebounds, Auburn 42 rebounds per game, Georgia 41 rebounds per game. Three-point percentage, Auburn 31%, Georgia 30.5%. Free throw percentage is unbelievable. 66.5% for Auburn, 66.5% for Georgia. From a standpoint of looking at these two teams on the offensive end, they're both equal. So I think it does become, can the Auburn Arena make a difference? Can we start shooting the ball better from the perimeter, please?
Can we get off to a good start?
Yeah.
Can we not get down 17-6?
And can we win the rebounding margin? I think that's going to be a big-time key here in this basketball game is how well Austin Wiley plays down in the pressure.
And he's been playing well.
He has.
So he's got, he's a guy that that Auburn needed to play well. I told Andy this yesterday on the show. I don't know if you heard this. Did you hear what Bruce Pearl said after the game Wednesday with Vanderbilt? He said, and it was kind of weird because you're talking about the game and all. He said, well, I just want to stop and thank Austin Wiley for coming to Auburn. And everybody was like, kind of, the student section was behind and all that, and the announcer was like, what are you referring to? He said, Austin Wiley started all this. He said, Austin Wiley, being an Auburn legacy, being a five-star, deciding to stay true to his family and wherever, he said when Austin Wiley came to Auburn, other people have flocked to this program. He said it was like they had to see that guy who could have gone anywhere believed in this program, believed in what we were doing, and he said ever since then, he said the dam has burst. And so I thought that was odd, but, and he went on to say, I'm glad Austin's finally having a year injury-free, controversy-free, where he can come out here and just play basketball and show everybody what we all knew he was from the beginning.
Well, Isaac Okoro's getting a lot of attention. He's deserving a lot of attention, and he played his best basketball game the other night. But Austin Wiley may be the best player on the team consistently, and he's
playing like a five-star now.
He's owning the boards. He's the biggest guy in the paint. Let me run down a key to this basketball game for all of you out there. Let me run down the heights for Georgia.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're 6'5", 6'9", 5'10", 6'1", 6'3", 6'5", 6'9", 6'8", 6'6", 6'3". What does that tell you? This is not the length that we've seen from Georgia.
No, this is a matchup problem for Georgia. We see matchup problems for us. We see a matchup problem here for them, but I'll tell you one as we get to break here, Randy. Anthony Edwards versus Isaac Okoro today. You're going to see them matched up on each other.
Well, that'd be fun, and I like our chances.
I do too.
It's not. Here's the deal. If
Two NBA players.
If you got the number one player potentially in the draft matched up, and we at Auburn are going, well, I think that we'll call that one 50-50.
That's right.
How often have we been able to say that?
Never. Not much. Not much. Up against our final break. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Hey, it's Steve from the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, and after 10 years of serving the good people of East Alabama and West Georgia, we're still doing business the same way, offering the best products at the best prices with the area's best warranties and installing them with the area's best technicians. With great customer service, a knowledgeable sales staff, and our commitment to customer satisfaction, along with the best selection of the latest technology in the industry, there's no reason to shop anywhere else. Shop with confidence. Shop at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
At Russell Medical, our transitional care unit is a great alternative to nursing home care after a medical or surgical hospital stay. Transitional care increases strength and endurance through skilled nursing and therapy programs to promote a safe return home. Enjoy on-site therapy, private rooms, an activity center, and more. Call Russell Medical today to see if our transitional care unit is the right care for you.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Since the dawn of time, mankind has needed tools. But not all tools are created equal. AGF Machine Rental Sales and Service has tools for all commercial construction or big residential projects. AGF Machinery offers the most durable and hard-working brands of ASV, Skyjack, and Wacker Neuson. Aerial lifts, scissor lifts, loaders, excavators, and forest equipment on demand for the best possible price. And backed by the Southeast's best team of professionals. Visit any of our strategic locations across Alabama for all your equipment needs. Or online at agfmachinery.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown final segment of the program. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching and listening out there, wherever it is that you might be tuning us in. Again, shout out to some of our viewers.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of you that have been into our office here recently, and maybe it's because I've got a new role and I'm having to deal with the public a lot more than I have over the years, and I'm starting
You're
to
not in the
enjoy
back
it.
cleaning screens anymore.
No, I'm not a day laborer right now. I'm actually out front, and so I'm talking
You
to a
take
lot
on many
more of
roles, though. You take on many roles.
Well, you have to. If you're a business
Yeah,
owner,
you
on
take
small
on many
business,
roles.
You fit in where you get in where you fit in, and but I'm enjoying it because I'm getting to talk to people a lot more than I have recently, and a lot of you tune in, and it's on TV, radio, maybe through our social media outlets. That's the beauty of today's world. Brett and I did a whole segment on it earlier. There's a lot of different ways to find us, and you're finding us in a lot of different venues than you did in years past, and we're going to continue to try to stay on the cutting edge with that.
Numbers for the national championship game, matchup of two 14-0 teams. To me, it's just the stage is set for an outstanding football game that we're going to watch Monday night. 600 miles Clemson had to travel. 80 miles is what LSU had to travel to New Orleans yesterday. Both teams arrived in the Big Easy, and both are led by phenomenal quarterbacks. Both have tremendous running games. Both have good defenses. It's just a wonderful matchup. I mean, if you look at Clemson offensively, they run the ball 246 yards a game, pass for 538 yards a game. LSU throws it for 564. That's good for number one in the country. They only run it for 167. So if you see a discrepancy, it's in the two running games.
Well, I think there is a discrepancy there, but the biggest problem I would have, or if you're just trying to nitpick this game, it's the defensive side of the football for LSU.
Yeah.
Do they show up, especially in pass defense, and play it up to par? Up to an LSU par in years past was one of the best in the country. There's the difference, though. This is the best defense in the country for Clemson. They're actually only giving up 264 yards per game, which is second in the country.
But one in pass defense.
One in pass defense, only giving up 151 yards passing per game. Defensively for LSU, they're giving up 340 yards per game, which is 29th in the country, and it was good for 8th in the SEC. They're giving up 221 passing yards per game, which is 56th in the country and 9th in the SEC. You say, well, they were ahead in a lot of those football games, and a lot of those are chump yards, and maybe that's true. But LSU's going to have to prove that's true, because the two guys that are out there at for the receiving core for Clemson can expose you, and they exposed Alabama in that championship game last year.
They did. I'm gonna go to one other stat as we close. Points per game, 48.9 for LSU, 45.3 for Clemson. That's apples to oranges to me. 48.9 for LSU against the competition they went against, 45.3 for the Clemson team that went up against what they went up against. I think that's the difference in the game. We got about 40 seconds, Randy. I'll make my prediction and I'll get yours. I think LSU wins the game by 10 points. I think it's like 42-32 or something like that. I think again, LSU gets back up there around that 40-point mark and wins. I just think that stat to me stands out more than any of them.
I think it'll be a little bit lower scoring than we have seen, but I think LSU kind of gets away from them at some point in time. I'm going to take LSU about 41-21.
Yeah.
But
hold them down.
We're going to know early on whether this defense for Clemson is for real against the best offense that I can think of in my lifetime in the SEC and this LSU team.
And that's a mouthful.
These numbers are through the roof. Number one in the conference and in the SEC at 564 yards per game.
Clemson going for win number 30 in a row. That's something else as well. That's going to wrap it up for the Saturday Sports Countdown. We've enjoyed it. We hope you have. See you next week.